So there are different kinds of college groups in East Africa, but first of all, I gotta warn you, East African college students in general are a whole different breed. This is mostly because the high school experience in East Africa is so strict and suppressive. It's basically a prison sentence with the occasional 2-week holiday where you get to go back home and spend time with your parents, who are even worse than the prison you just came from. Put a kid through 4 to 6 years of this and what you have left is a horny, depraved, starving demon just waiting for college to come around. This is your typical East African college student. So when you take an entire generation of these monsters and put them in college, they naturally tend to gravitate and form friend groups with other like-minded individuals, bonding over shared interests and, well, trauma. So I'll be talking about 4 specific college groups, with each group having its own standing in the social hierarchy. First group, we have the club demons. These people are addicted to clubbing on the weekends. They live for Friday nights so they can go partying. It's not just a philosophy, it's a religion for them, a way of life. If they were even half as committed and consistent with anything else educational, we probably wouldn't still have the starving kids in Africa right now, bro. Which reminds me, these guys can drink, bro. No pun intended. I'm talking shot after shot, bottle after bottle, all night. Don Julio, Hennessy, Jaeger. You do not want to go shot for shot with these people. You will die. I'm convinced these people are genuine alchemists of old who've devised scientific techniques to avoid hangovers. Despite chugging entire bottles of vodka, they'll still be up and early, ready to take a test the next day, and chances are they'll get better grades than you. These guys are truly interesting people, and don't get me wrong, while I'm not a part of this group myself, as clubs aren't really for me, best believe once in a blue moon, I'll be down in the trenches with these guys on my 10th shot on a suicide mission to outdrink my club demon friends. These guys know how to make the most out of their youth, man. I just doubt they'll make it to 50. Second group, we have the cool kids. This right here is the top of the hierarchy in most East African high schools and colleges. This group consists of the popular kids, the social butterflies, the international students, anime nerds, provided it's not taken too far, the attractive students, and the fashion fiends. Oh, the rich kids too, even if they're assholes about it. And honestly, I understand why. I'm very familiar with this group, and it tops the hierarchy because aside from the negative traits, which we'll get into later, this group as a whole is the embodiment of self-expression with no bounds. The cool kids are often cool because of how different they are from the cultural norms that define, yet at the same time, bind African culture in general. You find the weirdest, most extravagant artist-type characters in this group. Anything from crystal hippie chicks to deranged Cardi fans, aspiring YouTube animators, and sexy anime cosplayers. African culture in general is very traditional, and I think that's such a good thing for us to have, but it comes with some downsides that the cool kids naturally break free from by just not giving a fuck. And this radiates loud spiritual pressure that everyone can sense. You don't choose to be a cool kid. The cool kid life chooses you. And to be honest, this group is able to be different 9 times out of 10 because they can afford it, either by having more open-minded parents or literally having the finances to not give a fuck, a luxury that most in Africa never really get to experience. Speaking from personal experience, growing up as a partial member of this group, I got a lot of hate for being different. Understandably so. People think you're either way too whitewashed, you're bathing in daddy's money, or you think you're somehow better than them. This further encourages the division between the cool kids and other groups of people. As much as they want to, the cool kids feel like they genuinely can connect with other seemingly more closed-minded groups, and these other groups feel the exact same way too. But having set foot in most of these groups myself, I can confirm that everyone is just projecting their own experience onto the other. Deep down, the club demons would love to crack a conversation with the anime nerds, and the crystal hippie chicks would love to tap in with the sleigh queens and see what's going on in the depths of the material plane. We're all human after all, man, and deep down, we all just want to connect. However, there is a dark side to the cool kids, and it can get dark. I mean, darker than any group in this list. The thing is, a lot of members from this group come from either very rich or very open-minded families, and this can easily go too far. Some of these kids in these families are so breaded up that they genuinely believe they're above the law. And in certain countries like Tanzania and Kenya, They genuinely are. With some of their parents being high up government officials, these kids can get deluded with so much immense power at such a young age that you never want to get on their bad side. I mean, imagine dating one of these fat government officials' daughters and things don't work out, so you end up breaking her heart. You think you're walking out of this one alive? Dude, think twice. You're probably gonna get kidnapped, drugged, and the next thing you know, you're in her underground bunker, strapped to the wall, naked, bound to serve the rest of your life as her sex slave. I mean, not exactly the worst fate out there, because chances are she's bad as fuck, but you get the point, man. They're often surrounded by yes men and no genuine friends, as everyone wants them for their money and nothing more. And with limited life experience, they're often so unaware of the average man's reality that they cannot relate to most people. The overly open-minded ones, that's a free ticket to crazy drug addictions, orgies with hippie chicks on the beaches of Zanzibar, and, well, witchcraft. But genuinely speaking, I'm one of the least judgmental people you'll ever come across. There's no such thing as objective moral standings. One man's good is another man's evil. Choosing one side over the other is just a unique perspective, and as long as people continue to exist, so will the varying definitions of a good life. And once you understand this, you lose all reason to judge. But that doesn't mean you have to condone it. I mean, orgies with hippie chicks in Zanzibar sounds like a fun time, but when one of these girls offers me a hit off that crack pipe, that is when I draw the line. Alright, third group, we have the sleigh queens. These women are the most superficial and obsessed with themselves ever. Half the time they're on Snapchat taking thirst trap videos of themselves in seductive poses so that they can send them to their mubabas, which means sugar daddy in Tanzania and Kenya, so those fat fucks can send them money in exchange for their purity. And honestly, this group of girls used to disgust me at one point, but as I grew, so did the confines of my mind. I began to understand why one would live such a life. Some just genuinely do it for the love of the game, and they're having a blast, and hey man, to each their own. Others though, they genuinely have fucked financial situations that cause desperation to take over. Others fall into the illusion of material gain. They begin to desire the Gucci purses, trips to Dubai, and the extravagant lives that some of their friends seem to have. So they go the extra mile to look pretty, take Snapchat videos 24/7, bait mubabas, and hope to strike it gold someday. It's not uncommon to see an Instagram post of one of these girls looking fine as fuck on a fancy trip that apparently she paid for, only for her to ask you for transport money so she can hop onto a daladala back home from school the next day. And hey, nothing against a shaky financial situation, I know what that's like. It's just the fact that they feel a need to fake it for external validation. But I get it, man. This world is a labyrinth, and based off your background and who you are, you're bound to fall into pits that most people, in their ignorance, find laughable. That aside, I can't lie, they are some of the finest girls you'll ever come across, and their party tendencies are right up there with the club demons, so if you're genuine friends with one of them, you're probably in for a good time. The fourth and final group, the generational crash outs. These guys just don't give a fuck about none, bro. The stereotypical anime high school delinquent? This is them, bro. You'll find them hunched over, high as fuck, rocking slippers to class, if they even make it to class at all. It's like these guys' life's purpose is to break as many rules as possible in as little time as possible. I knew a couple back in my day, and it was unreal watching them move through life, bro. These are the types of dudes that would smoke grass in school grounds, bro. Grass is highly illegal in East Africa, but they just don't give a fuck. Open their bags and there's at least 3 bottles of liquor in there disguised as water bottles. It's crazy how they're often the tallest and biggest dudes in class too, man. These guys are mad intimidating. Even the teachers don't fuck with them, because this is college, bro, not high school. They know they can get a life-altering beating before the cops even intervene. And honestly, man, majority of these guys are straight assholes. Some of them are genuinely chill though, as with all groups, so yeah. Ultimately, man, it seems that East African college groups are full of traumatized kids thirsting for the freedom that college brings on a silver platter. This gives birth to the most extreme individuals out there and calls for a very fun or a very fucked college experience. But everyone's just trying to find themselves. And perhaps orgies with crystal hippie chicks is exactly what we all need.
We should wait for new projects.